So guys, let me throw out a real quick disclaimer. The banks don't know shit. All they do is put numbers in and they check if you can afford your mortgage payment. They use a number system and they go by that number system. They don't know how much you pay as far as your other expenses, how much you take to go to the barber shop, your personal expenses. You are the only one that know that. Your parents don't know shit. They might know how to purchase a home based on their experience. Again, they don't know your personal finances like you do. And sure as hell, your friends, especially if they're renting and they never purchase a home, they don't know shit. All they're there to do is make sure you go through the home buying process as smooth as possible and give you the best support possible. But when it comes down to it, you have to weigh the pros and cons as far as if it's beneficial for you and does it meet your personal finances when it comes to you buying a home or keep renting. So let's dive into the video. My name is George McPherson. I'm a real estate investor. I'm a coach. I've done fix and flips. I have rental properties. I have Airbnbs. I've also done some hard money lending as well. So in this video, guys, let's jump into it. While you're renting, there's a couple things and a couple benefits that you have when you're renting a home. Now, one is you have the freedom to move whenever you want. You're not stuck to one location. You're not stuck to a mortgage or anything like that. So you have the freedom. If you don't like the area that you live in, you might think that, you found the perfect place to rent. And then when you move in, you find out that that's not the area for you. It may be too busy. You may start hearing gunshots or something you don't know, right? Until you move in and you start living in that area. The next thing is you have free maintenance. If there's something wrong as far as plumbing, if you need filters done, you could call the landlord or the apartment complex, and then you could say, listen, I need my air filters changed, or I need this done, the plumbing is not properly working, there's a leak in the roof. You don't have to worry about fixing anything. The next thing is you have less monthly fees. Because the fact that you don't have to do lawn care, you don't have to do that. Unless you're renting a home, then you have lawn care regardless. But if you're in an apartment complex, then you are free from any kind of lawn care or pest control, right? Now, the thing is, when owning a home, there is certain downsides to it. So say for instance, let's get a scenario going. You have $1,500 that you're paying in rent right now. But if you go ahead and you get a mortgage, you're gonna be paying $1,200. And you might see that as, wow, a $300 saving, which that's what a lot of people will push. Hey, I'm getting $300 in savings. Why rent somewhere? I'm in an apartment complex. I can't own the apartment complex. So why not put that $1,500 towards something? And then while that may be a benefit, you have to think about the overall situation. Everybody's situation is gonna be different. It all depends on what you wanna accomplish in the end. Now, living in a home, your mortgage, of course, the scenario is $1,200 a month. Well, there's certain other expenses that's gonna come with that. Say for instance, if you have taxes that you have to pay, insurance that you have to pay, but let's go deeper. Let's say that those are covered, okay? Your HOA is covered, all that stuff. When you're in an apartment, remember, there's maintenance that you're not paying. However, if you're in a house, you take ownership of that house, okay? So now, if the roof start leaking, you have to fix the roof. Any maintenance that needs to be done, you have to have the maintenance. You have to have the money to cover your maintenance. Lawn care you have to do. Now you are in charge, or now you have to do pest control. So anything that comes up, now you take ownership of that. Why? Because now you're ownership of the home, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. You just have to weigh the pros and cons of you buying or renting a house. Is it suitable for you and your family? Now, what are the benefits of owning a home? Well, one, the biggest thing they always talk about is tax advantage. But really, do you want to go ahead and put 20% down or even 3% depending on how much money you're putting down? Do you really want to go ahead and put all that money down, pay the same amount or even more just to get a tax benefit? It doesn't make any sense, guys, when you really map it out. So don't look at it as, okay, I'm buying a house, I'm gonna get tax benefits. Don't only look at tax benefits. There's other benefits when owning a home, right? So one other benefit is if you're starting a family, it's great that you can lay down some roots as far as where you're gonna be living, because at that point, you're gonna be having a stable home. Now, nobody can't raise your mortgage on you unless you choose to get a just mortgage, which I don't recommend, right? Because anything can happen in the future. You could change jobs. You know, somebody could lose a job. So you don't want to get an adjusted rate when it comes to your mortgage. You always want to get a fixed rate. So in rent situation, when you're renting, guess what? After a year, your lease is up. So they're gonna raise your rent, whether it's 5% or 10%, which is the average what they normally raise your rent, is 10%. Versus a mortgage, your payment is the same exact payment for 30 years. So that means that you know what you're gonna be spending when it comes to your living expenses, where you're gonna lay your head. You know exactly how much it is, how much it's gonna cost you every single month when it comes to your mortgage. Now also, I mentioned that you're gonna gain ownership, right? Because when you're renting, you don't have ownership of that property. However, when you're in a home, when you buy your home, now you gain ownership. Technically, you don't own the home. The bank owns the home, but it's ownership. Now you're taking care of that house, but what you're really doing is you're gaining equity. Always look at it as you're gaining equity in that home. Every month that you pay a mortgage, the first couple of years, guys, let's be real, you're paying interest. So most of that $1,200, you probably $100 is going towards principal. Most of it is just gonna be going towards interest. But you have ownership. And with ownership, what happens is as years go by, hopefully the property can appreciate in value. So you gain equity. But right now, as the economy is, we're in 2020. So with that, right now we just saw the market tank. And we could see more as the months go by. So property value may drop, but over time, guys, what always happens? It always rebounds, especially if you buy the property right, especially if you're in a right location, then you know that over time, you will get the same amount that you put back, or you will gain more. So those are some great things that you could look at, the pros and cons you could look at when it comes to purchasing your home, or if you should stay renting. Alright guys, so hopefully you find this video valuable. Let me know what your biggest takeaway is from this video. If you like it, again, give me some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright guys, bye.